Many people in Africa believe that politics is a tool for exploitation. Many people say it is a filthy game. Africa is a land of plenty, with abundant people with a big portion of her population under the age of 25 and mineral resources such as oil reserves, gold, platinum, tin, diamonds, and other precious metals and minerals resources that fuel and contribute to the world economy. 1 billion people live on the Black Continent, as some refer to it. Despite the abundance of these rich resources, it is said that Africa is still impoverished, with the majority of Africans living in poverty. Not only that, but there is also a shortage of good and fundamental amenities that would improve the enormous population's living standards. On this note, African presidents or monarchs appear unconcerned or moved by these conditions, instead of focusing on enriching themselves. This is true because they are among Africa's wealthiest individuals. Many African citizens believe that the presidency is used to pay for the bank accounts of African presidents and their families. As a result, the top 10 richest presidents in Africa will be the subject of today's discussion. 10. President Isaias Afwerki, $120 million. The president of Eritrea is Africa's 10th richest man. President Afwerki is Eritrea's only president, having presided over the country since its independence in 1993. His leadership abilities have been questioned due to the way the regulations are enforced severely. The UN and Amnesty International have both accused the government of violating human rights in this report. He is in charge of the country's finances, which has resulted in his having a lot of money, allowing him to be on this list even though his country is in bad shape. 9. Abdel Fattah Al-Sisi, Egypt, $185 million. Abdel Fattah has an estimated net worth of $185 million. He served in the army before becoming the president of Egypt in 2014. Abdel Fattah retired from the military in 2014 to pursue his interest in politics. He then became the head of state. Besides earning financially from his military career and current position as president, he owns several investment firms that operate in North Africa and overseas. From 2019 to 2020, he also served as a chairperson of the African Union. The 6th president of Egypt was ranked 4th to 5th under Forbes' Most Powerful People 2018. His business influence attracted many foreign investors to the country when he was elected president. 8. Paul Biya, $200 million. Paul Biya has been the president of Cameroon since 1982 and is one of Africa's wealthiest presidents with 40 years of running in the office. President Biya was born in Mvonka on February 13, 1933, and has married twice. His first wife, Jean Irene Biya, died on July 29, 1992, and he married Chantal Biya on April 23, 1994. President Biya is Cameroon's richest man, and it has been stated that he leads an expensive and opulent lifestyle, spending around $40,000 on lodging alone during vacations. He also owns properties, assets, and businesses in a variety of nations. His leadership style is regarded to be dictatorial rather than democratic, and the populace is tired of him. 7. Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, $450 million. The 7th person on the list is Cyril Ramaphosa. He is the current president of South Africa and a politician. Before succeeding Jacob Zuma, Cyril was a businessman, deputy president, and activist. Cyril was the previous chairman of the National Planning Commission and the president of the African National Congress in 2017. The National Assembly elected him president on May 22. 6. King Mswati III of Swaziland, $500 million. The monarch of Swaziland, a landlocked nation in southern Africa, is Africa's 6th wealthiest president, having served in office for more than 30 years. Although over 60% of her population survives on less than $1.25 per day, King Mswati continues to spend lavishly and leaves extravagantly in the face of criticism. He has 15 women, each of whom has her lavish residence. King Mswati owns 13 palaces, as well as Mercedes and BMW fleets, at least one Rolls-Royce and a $500,000 Maybach 62. A private jet believed to cost $17 million and rumored to have been acquired with public cash has been added to his collection. 5. Paul Kagame, $500 million. Paul Kagame, the fifth person on our list, is a well-known African president. He is Rwanda's sixth president, having taken office in the year 2000. President Kagame was born on October 23, 1957, Rwanda. Before entering politics, he served in the armed forces, and one of his most notable accomplishments was his role in helping to bring an end to the Rwandan genocide in 1994. Because he was a leader of the Rwandan Patriotic Front, which invaded Rwanda to put an end to Hutu atrocities of Tutsis, he was able to attain this feat. His style of leadership has been questioned heavily and criticized, as well by global watchdog organizations, particularly Amnesty International, who claim that Kagame's leadership and the regime do not give room for freedom to oppose his role and organize parties as a result. 4. Teodoro Obiang Nguema M, $600 million. President Teodoro of Equatorial Guinea is ranked 4th on the list. In Akokin, Guinea, on June 5, 1954, he was born to Santiago Mat Enim and Mara Mbasogo-Iwi. President Teodoro has ruled Equatorial Guinea for 34 years and counting, having ascended to the presidency when his uncle was deposed by a military coup in 1979. A considerable portion of his fortune is thought to have come through stealing and plundering the oil-rich country. Because the president does not share any of the country's wealth with the population, more than half of the country's citizens live in abject poverty, that is, living on less than $1 per day. The report has it that his son has followed in his step, living lavishly in a $35 million estate built in Malibu, and having 3 Bugatti Veyron costs $1.7 million. 3. Uhuru Kenyatta, $650 million. President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Kenya's 4th president, was born on October 26, 1961. He has been the president of Kenya since April 9, 2013, and he is unquestionably one of the country's wealthiest men. He served in the government as the Minister for Local Government from 2001 to 2002 before becoming president. The former minister turned president made a significant portion of his fortune in the real estate market, owning over 500,000 acres of land in Kenya. President Uhuru holds holdings in Kenyan media firms, hotels, and banks, among other things, in addition to his sources of income. 2. President Ali Bongo Ondimba, $2 billion. Ali Bongo Ondimba has been the president of Gabon for 10 years and counting, having taken office in October 2009. Gabon is Africa's 5th largest oil producer, hence the country is heavily reliant on crude oil exports. The president of Gabon spent $129 million on a residence in Paris, according to the Daily Mail. Poverty is still a worry in the country, with nearly half of the population living below the poverty line. 1. King Mohammed VI of Morocco, $5 billion. The Moroccan monarch, who is also the president, is first on our list. He was born in Rabat, Morocco's capital, on August 1963. He has been the king of Morocco for 15 years and counting, having ascended to the role after his father, King Hassan II, died. He is Africa's most educated president, having received degrees from a variety of top colleges throughout the world. Mohammed VI promised Moroccan residents after his ascent to the throne formerly held by his late father that he would combat poverty and corruption in the kingdom, as well as cut unemployment and improve the country's human rights situation. Fortunately, thus far, it hasn't been an empty promise. He goes to great lengths to ensure that most of these pledges are followed, earning him the moniker the defender of the underprivileged. These are the richest presidents in Africa in 2022. Half of the presidents on the list have their country's economy suffering major issues, including poor citizen welfare and well-being. It's no surprise that the majority of Africans perceive their leaders as unscrupulous individuals who are more concerned with their well-being than with the well-being of their citizens. Leave a like on this video and subscribe to the New Tourist channel for more interesting content on Africa. See you in our next video.